Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute, this music isn't right, the scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time for the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, Nevermorians. I'm your host, the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, coming at you over the airways on WNTF. Nevermind the Furthermore. Wow. Yeah, folks, it is a manic Monday here at Nevermind the Furthermore, and before we get going, I got some bills to pay. I've got some things to say, and we're going to lay it down like we're cutting the hay. So, first and foremost, dear friends, we got to put a shout out to our friends over at indecd.org. That's the Independent Creator Directory.org. Your one-stop shop for the best in the business of independent authors, artists, musicians. The site is growing and changing and making its moves, friends. It's got everything you need, and it's doing the grooves. So we're going to keep that hitting and never quitting to keep making a wonderful place where individual authors, artists, etc. may be hosted online without any fear of deplatforming. So hit up about Nicholas Tockert while you're there. So indecd.org/about-Nicholas, that with an H, Tockert, to see my site and see what a little bit of everything I do, because it's a wonderful link to have. While we're talking about wonderful links, if you go to Fund My Comic, you can buy hybrids. The whole situation is back up again. You can get the quick play, you can get the full version, and with secret code. Beta 2023. That's BETA 2023. You can get 20% off. But you didn't hear it from me. Now, if you want to support me and the program, such as Nevermind the Furthermore and all the other wonderful things I do on the show, first and foremost, you can do so by sharing this around, by liking this in any video you take part in, and by subscribing and ringing the bell so you miss nothing. I know there were technical difficulties this morning. I got them fixed at the last possible minute, so I appreciate your patience. I know a lot of you guys like to wait in and make a nice bank of conversation for me to navigate, but that's okay. Hawaiian shirt discussion today. I felt like going a little pastel. I'm comfortable with this. It's one of my favorites. I can be colorful without, searing the eyes and burning the soul of everyone around me. I just like to usually. But despite my bombastic entry, I'm coming in fairly mellow today. And the reason for it is this. Yes, folks, besides the smoke air quality warnings and friends, colleagues, uh, everyone out there are smoke warnings out there. So be careful. There's a lot of particulate matter. But what we're not getting and not what I'm not hearing is the audacity warnings that need to be had. Yes, the audacity warnings. Because I don't know what is going on, but it seems like a lot of people are really getting cranky about the success of others and they're taking out on them. And I'm seeing this in my DMs. I'm seeing this in the one I'm watching. And I'm just kind of getting a little annoyed with it. So I'm going to ask folks to remember, don't yuck other people's yums and applaud for them when they're making their way on up to the big time. Because just because it's not your turn doesn't mean yours isn't coming. And folks will remember. Now, speaking of things to build on up, the simple sword, the fighting axe, and the simple spear, who all are up. This is the one-stop shop, and I love one-stop shops. My series is a great way to get started on your journey into swordsmanship, to learn the highs and lows, to find your path, not just as a swordsman or swordswoman or swords other, but to get the confidence to endure what you have to do with the knowledge that you can deal with stuff. Getting into my accountability, I have been busy. I've been a very busy bee, running and gunning, getting some stuff done. I made a couple purchases that will be highlighted on the sister channel of this, the Historical Fencing Guild channel, something I have always wanted to buy. And while it will need a lot of work both to become functional, it's very valid for our purposes. And one of my most popular subjects I ever did, I will be revisiting. And that subject is something you may just have to keep your eyes out open for over on the Historical Fencing Guild. So be sure to subscribe over there. Now, in other news, I did push the button. So you will notice a very small raise in my prices. They may continue to adjust. The system is imperfect, but it is nominal. Everybody has had to do it lately. So that's a thing. It is being dealt with, and that is one less stress in my life. Another less stress in my life will be tomorrow. As tomorrow, I will be doing a fairly rare public appearance running Big Stompy Robots. Yes, the game that made so much of this possible, over at the Benton County Public Library at 2 p.m. on Tuesday. Wait, is it 2 p.m. or 5 p.m.? It may be running later. Reach out to them. While it is intended for children, adults are more than welcome. There will be paper proxies used, simple game rules that you should be able to remember, and my crazy self may be giving away at least part of my $1 convention kits for free to the kids. Why? Why would I give stuff away free to the kids when Lord knows I'm held together by a shoestring? Because gaming matters. Because learning early to play games teaches you important things like actions have consequences. And those consequences can breed counter consequences. And you learn to think ahead. and one then can then decide what kind of position they're actually in. So there's that. I will be knocking a bunch of terrain building hopefully tonight out. I have some plans for the day. I will also be working on a huge series of projects. I have about 5 or 6 more character designs I have to do for the character design for the library gig for the children. That due to some things that happened this weekend, I wasn't able to work on them. I overdid it, and I had an incident where I was upset. And the thing about me becoming upset is it's physically painful, because when I tense up, it pops basically every joint out. And most of the time they go back right, sometimes they don't. And so I had a very difficult time that required adjustment. And it caused some physical pain, brought up some old nightmares. In all honesty, despite getting a lot done, it was a difficult era that will have lasting ramifications. I just have to look through that as calmly and rationally as humanly possible. That being said, because, as I said, audacity is a thing, I'm going to deal with it. Now, I have some other stuff coming up to talk about, because after I get through that big art process, I get to go through, as Joe Bachman has mentioned, he is making sprites. He is learning an impressive, and I peeked that in the chat, guys. He's an impressive set of game design stuff that I am literally in awe of, having made several humble attempts myself. And the man has got to know his limitations and know when to delegate. But I happen to have a certain IP, big stumpy robots, that I may have always wanted to see it in certain types of games. And that means as soon as I wrap up this, and I have a couple other images I have to knock out for my friend Taylor Furlow, who's, I believe, still working on When Worlds Collide. Because shockingly, though, you don't always see it, I am a professional artist on top of all my things, just very small. I'm a very multi-class character, a lot of levels invested in a lot of different classes. But then I get to sit and crank out tons of sprites from different angles, which may warrant, truly unexpected art times with Nick, because if I'm going to sit here working on stuff, and since it's more fun for you guys to see the development of such things than than just having it sprung upon you, you might get to see the background of such things. Oh, that's so cool. I think that's cool. Oh no, education while I get to knock something off of my dream bucket list. Oh no. So I'm positively giddy about a lot of the work that's coming up ahead. Father's Day is coming up this weekend, guys. So those of you who still have living fathers and father figures, it's a good time to reach out to those who are doing the job. Maybe perhaps something nice for them. They don't, being a dad is not often a thanks job. So, because of my situation, certain holidays don't always work like they do for other people. So Mandy got me a surprise that came a little early, and I'll talk about, but I won't talk about it till after Father's Day, so it's on par. I think it's very cool. And then I'll get to visit my dad, and I may just fork out for my traditional Father's Day thing of a Subway sandwich. Writing, haven't done a lot of that. I've been in an art mode. I have been slowly, when I get a chance, grinding away at the reformatting of an RPG that should be coming out this month. It may even come out this week if I can get in the mode. But I have a few other things that have to be doing. And I just acquired a bunch of furniture because all around, above the mess that is my study, and brothers and sisters, it is abhorrent. It's all been put together for the last 5 years on folding tables. I'm right now working on what was meant to be my personal con table. I have another folding table there and a scavenged plastic shelf over here, and of course the really cool DVD / bookcases that have become my wall of cool. My wall of cool is not going anywhere. That is just going to get upgraded and tweaked a bit. But I have some furniture, so I have to rearrange and clean and do a bunch of stuff in here for my own personal well-being. Likewise with the house. So that is my accountability. I've gone to a little over 15 minutes. I'm going to run an ad for someone. Now, I've been requested not to run Joe's ad for the thing for his shows until he is able to get back to it. But I do have a brand new ad today from Mr. Gratlankard. It's a little spooky. Y'all have been warned. It's mostly safe for work though. I'm not too concerned. So here goes. Memoirs of the Morbid.
Greetings, ghouls and boils. I'm the Ghoul Master, a loving homage to horror anthology narrators of yesteryear. Wait, I'm an homage? Why didn't anybody tell me? You'll hear from my agent about this. But first, let's get to the heart of the matter. I'm here to tell you about the new horror anthology, Memoirs of the Morbid, on Kickstarter in time for Halloween. Memoirs of the Morbid is a black and white homage to classic horror comics from the 40s and 50s, containing 5 self-contained stories by some of the best indie comic creators out there. There's that word again. I better not find out homage is an insult. Anyways, Memoirs of the Morbid is completely done and ready to go to the printer. So don't make a grave mistake by missing it.
Okay, so please don't miss that wonderful film. Oh, wonderful comic. I've actually seen some previews. It looks so good. Grant Lankard does amazing work. And no, I was not totally doing business during the commercials. I never do business during the commercials. That all being said, looks like we've got a backlog on comments. So let's hop and pop right over there to hear what you guys have to say. And let's kick it up. We've got first through the door at 9:52. My hero, my friend, Joe Bachman. Good morning and happy Monday, folks. Happy Monday, Joe. I have an itch. This weekend was short as usual, but some progress has been made. Yes, so we're finished the 2D tutorials for Godot. I'm assuming it's Godot 3 and moved on to Godot 4 for 2D tutorials. I need to look into that. I'm fascinated by it. Not that I need another focus right now, especially when I have like the best IT/partner in the world. Hey, Joe. I know he's the best partner. He really is. Hey, Donna. Here we are. Yes, I am sorry for the technical problem. Apparently, when I was clicking to set where the video was supposed to stream in StreamYard, I double clicked a couple, and like I said, I've been having nerve problems, and when they do, I do stupid things like, I go to reach and I double grab or something like that. It's just a problem. So thank you all for your patience. And we're joined by Carl Whitman, an amazing writer, friend, and incredible creator, and his lovely wife, who is a wonderful writer of her own. And does she have stories? There's the Whitman dude. There's Donna. She keeps the mojo in the dojo in these parts. It keeps it so smooth and buttery. I just don't know what to do. Last bit of accountability from Mr. Joe Bachman. Hoping to get more of these tutorials done. My goal is to have a level 0 done with temporary sprites that will load into level 1 by end of July. Oh, I've gotten to see preview secret videos. Although I will tell you there's something wrong with your videos in that they tend to run to the half point and then glitch out. But that could be on my end too. But it looks so good, Joe. I am just in awe. And, Joe's like, well, we could do it this way or this way or this way or this way. To which my answer is an assertive. When given a multiple choice, say yes. Just work on through anything that can work because we don't know what's gonna stick yet. I just want to make sure that it's all awesome and that someday it can have a multiplayer, local multiplayer format. Because I'm a huge proponent for couch co-op games. Then who knows? Maybe we can reach out to like Xbox and all those and get on their indie programs. I know Xbox and PlayStation are begging for some new IPs. I've been watching the travels of Dawn and Michaela and Linda on their way to South Dakota. How cool is that? I almost said Lydia, and I had to double check that she didn't have like a cowboy hat on her way to South Dakota. I have kin out there. It is a beautiful state, especially western South Dakota. It is gorgeous out there, and I wish them a safe trip, a profitable venture, and I hope everybody has a good time. Yes, I do mean Michaela. Sounds interesting, Joe. Accountability. Work progresses on the spy novel. Glad to hear the Hybrids game is back up. You didn't need all that drama. Well, I am hoping that the difficulty and drama is winding down and we can finally get that into people's hands. Not because I'd like to be paid for a 3-year time investment, which I would, and I will enjoy it greatly. Not because I want to get my sticky, front paws on that most delightful feeling of opening up a book you had something to do with and go, it's so good. But that's there too. But because it's a great system and it's a very niche group, superhero RPGs. But there is a very consistent thing I have found talking to comic book creators. And I know a lot of independent comic book creators. Superhero RPGs are somewhere a lot of their creations started, where a lot of their characters were formed and hardened. And through cooperative narratives, which RPGs basically are, they workshopped a lot of their writing. They got a lot of the ideas for their stories and events. It's a powerful building tool, especially for understanding kind of complex concepts like character balance and making sure your characters have roles in the story beyond simply, this is a cool character, this is a cool character, this is a cool character. Let's shake them up and see what happens. So the idea that somewhere, some kid will get a hold of either the quick play or Hybrids and Sons of Gods, a role-playing game, or the base +2 generic role-playing game, a modern role-playing game that's a working title I'm working on. that I am doing with that engine. I put it back because I wanted Luke to have the flagship big launch. And I'm hoping that that goes well. So, let's see. Carl goes further on to say, my adopted daughter is full of drama. Oh boy, I just tried to steer clear. Drama is for the young. Oh, absolutely. But we have done random tests and we have found that drama will make an absolute beeline across stores, across social groups to smack me in the face. I have learned this. Apparently, still water attracts ripples. Oh, I like that one. Well, that's good. Still water attracts ripples. I like that. I'm going to have to ponder that. Good morning. Good morning, Alec. I'm glad you got the message. I'm sorry about the delay. How are you doing? I hope your program went well yesterday. I wanted to go see the chairs, but I had a bit of a situation occur that I had to deal with. So if you have pictures of those chairs that you can share around somehow, because Alec was painting chairs and I want to know how they came out. Hey, Alec. Hey, Carl. Audacity is a beautiful thing. Also a Soundwave editor. Also a book on Lulu by Carl. Just saying. Audacity is on I have a to-do list, a to-read list, and a to-learn list. And I really need to get it organized. I need more Post-it notes. Although it looks like I get to take a few more down now that I am looking at this. Hot dog. Oh, yes. And I do want to remind folks, because we're almost a month out from July 28th is something that I looked at my wall and I just remembered. So I'm going to do this because I was talking to July 28th. The Historical Fencing Guild will be opening for, I want to say, The Tempest for the Gary Shakespeare Theater. So we will be having a live demonstration of what we do. I'm going to have to reach out to some people real fast and get them out to do some practice and see what gear we have, etc., to make sure that it looks good. You just caused a chain of events that made my life a lot better. Thank you. Alex says, I just looked up my dad on Find a Grave, a person I've never met. My mom knows them. Put his obituary up on there. You have my deepest condolences, Alec. My father dramatically shaped who I am. And I am uncomfortable with thinking of the world without him in it. So it takes a great deal to have the kind of strength you do. And I admire it and you. Whew. Let's see. Warning for Aunt Donna. Warning for Aunt Donna. Dang, dang, dang. General quarters, general quarters. All hands man your battle stations. Adopted daughter is coming to pick up mail and chat on Wednesday afternoon. This has been a warning for Aunt Donna. Proceed with the rest of your day. I figured after that lovely warning, we needed something a little spooky to be warned about. And the Mad Gasser hits all those buttons. Going on, hey Alec, thanks for the warning, Witzman dude. She comes with a warning label. That one was for me, folks. That one was for me. I like to admit my own flaws whenever possible, and that one was definitely on my mind running things wrong. Alrighty. That's one way of putting it. Grant really does. He's an impressive creator. We know some really great and really distinct creators. That's what I love. It doesn't look like a bunch of people photocopying and trying to look like the work of like Jim Lee or whatever. There's real creativity, real individualism. Folks like Grant, folks like Jody. He's not in the chat yet, but there's distinct artistic and literary styles in this group, and that's why independent creation is so important. Because without it, the mainstream tends to stagnate. It needs that influx of creativity. And we need an influx of creativity. Hey, Donna. Sorry, folks, I need to hop to my job. I need to get some measurements and stuff now that I've dropped off all the testing equipment for the weekend. Oh, my. Awesome. And again, if you should have the means to make some of those concrete beams of yours appear, I have the need to build a proper version of the Tockert Invitational? The golf stuff needs to happen. True, Nick. Drama seems to seek out the low spots where older folks are trying to hide. Yeah. It's not that I'm terribly inclined to drama. It's that I've figured out, I figure out the boundaries of my pool. If I am the water as I try to be, I'm pretty sure where the boundaries of my pool are. And that's mostly the vast majority of time. I just want to be my little pool of water. Or in my pool of water as the manatee man that I like to claim. This is my pond. I'm chilling it. I'm not hurting anybody. Just trying to eat some salad. And then motorboats keep coming in. This is a no-wake zone. Come on. You kids get off my lawn. Why does that feel so natural? Actually, I'm not likely to say, you kids get off my lawn. It's like, hey, you want a burger? You want a hot dog? Sit down. If you're going to be on my lawn, you're going to listen to some stories, or we're going to fix something or make something. This shenaniganry of drama. It's like that. No drama. Later, Joby. Morning. Oh, good morning, Joe D. I know Joe's name, Joe D. However, I just said Joe B, and my brain really wanted to throw the B back on there. Let's see. So good morning to you. I hope your creativity is doing well and your projects are coming along. It's okay, Alec says. I'll post all the pictures of the chairs later. I'm doing not the greatest right now, but I shall be okay. Well, that's what we do. We help folks, and we help each other get through when we're not feeling that great. Everybody has bad days. Everybody has days where they lose their cool. Everybody has days where they just feel less than fresh. I mean, like, there are days where you just have no mojo whatsoever. And if there's anything we can do to help, let us know, Alec. I'm just excited to see your artwork. Because you got to remember, you're always your worst critic. And I think there's this guy online. I can't remember his name. But he always says something like, create, because if you don't like it, you can fix it, you can improve it, but you can't edit a blank page. There's some dude running around. Who the heck is that? Anyway, accountability. Oh, Brian K. Morris, that's what it is. No. Saturday was a mixed bag. Not sure the discussion portion stepped on people's toes when it came to look at audience growth. Interesting. It's always tough on male children to lose a father. I was lucky to have mine until I was much older. Yeah, there is an absence for a lot of children of men in their lives. There's an absence of, frankly, good men. And I think that is something that is sorely needed. People need folks who will love them unconditionally. And they need to learn things that usually comes from a male perspective. Not always. I'm not saying always, but I'm saying often. And this is how folks learn what a man should be. And I have a lot of opinions on that from my observations that clash with a lot of other people's. And it does assign gender roles, but in my culture, as I was brought up, I was assigned gender roles. I don't agree with all of them, but there are some I find that any adult and certainly any man really should pursue. Things like integrity, honor, sacrifice, courage. These things matter. Control. These are things I try to model for my son. I fail sometimes, and when I do, I apologize. Because everybody needs that. But I do believe that we need people to understand, who can demonstrate, so that we can learn and understand that sometimes the rough in life is necessary. That, there is love in the calloused hand. Years ago, I wrote a poem about what love was. And it was actually about my dad. And that poem was lost by the teacher, which is a great tragedy because with my memory, I can't remember all of it. But part of it was love can be shown a lot of ways. And one way love is shown is, my dad would get up every morning before he went to work. Okay. Every morning he would start a fire and get it going so that when we woke up in the winter in Northwest Indiana, knowing he'd have to dig out his car and drive all the way to Chicago in the snow and the crud and the junk everywhere, so that we would wake up to a warm house. And as a teenager and as a teen, I used to hate. Yeah, Dad set it up. You got to keep that fire going. Because it was this responsibility. And no one I talked to had that responsibility. Nobody I knew lived that way. But it gave me an understanding that got me through a lot of hard times. And learning how to endure discomfort gracefully and put the need and comfort of others in front of yourself both showed a kind of love that is very rarely discussed in this day and age, and a kind of dedication and self-sacrifice that I aspire to. I don't always achieve it, but I do aspire. And I think that's what we do. We work to make things better. So, dads are important. We might do a lot of talking about dads. Accountability. It's not about follow the leader. It's about following your own path. More need to understand this in growing what you do. Yeah. You can't, when you're surfing, you cannot catch up with a wave in front of you. You just can't do it. Chasing trends will always leave you behind the curve. You have to do your thing and know that the wave will eventually catch you. You got to look kind of ahead at what's coming and be ready for it. Hey, Joe. Accountability 46 is done. Need to be rendered. I need to get more pages done ASAP. Taking me away from working on Amazonia number 8. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Agent Zero. How are you doing, sir? Haven't seen you around in a while. Man, Chrome Dog is a great comic. Agent Zero has a link where you can get a free ash can of the start of it. To get the couple people who were confused. That is what you see as his logo is Chrome Dog's face. What you see in the combat, Chrome Dog works as a mascot at a theme park, which is a great way to disguise being a giant cybernetic, anthropomorphic dog wolf beast, canid of some sort. Very neat title. Great art if you're into 90s stuff. Hey, Agent Zero. Leans around the corner. Hello. Hi, Cindy. I am so sorry that there was the technical issues. I'm sure that's why you just now found it. It is so good to see you. Hello, Agent. Hello. And more accountability. Joe's a very accountable person. Also, for collectors, there will be another What's in the Box segment of this upcoming Saturday show. And Cindy's in the house, and Agent Zero's hailing people, and everybody's happy to see Cindy, and Cindy's happy to see everybody. Accountability. I am a week behind mailing my mailing list. You'll get there. And you should go get all the books. Amazon.com stores, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert. And see, I knew it was coming. Here's a free PDF for all of you to enjoy in the chat. If you go to that drive link, you can download the Ashcan copy of the start of his comic. It's a really good comic. Make sure you tune in to the Historical Fencing Guild 7 p.m. Fridays. Yes, I will be, not only will I have the live stream, I want to, weather permitting, and we are about to get hammered with rain, which we need desperately. We, dear friends, viewers, and other colleagues, will be getting a few more videos. I'm going to be discussing agricultural tools again, which I haven't done in a while, but I have a good reason. And this time I hope that my war scythe won't take out my ceiling fan. That looks cool, Agent Zero. Morning, Cindy. I hope you're well. DeviantArt.com/Nick T for snazzy art. Doing okay. Glad to hear it. And we got all the greetings. And all the greetings. And all the greetings. And we have some... There we go. It was hopping a bit. Support Nick's efforts to teach people to be safely be dangerous. Patreon.com/The Historical Fencing Guild. Yes, please. Because I'm about to step up a lot of stuff, and I've been spending money on it, and I'm more than a little nervous. Morning, Carl Witzman. Okay, why is it? Okay, I'm going to do this. Give it a second, because it was not letting me scroll past that comment. And there we go. Joe D. And there we go. Because it was looping it. Thanks at Alex Creations. To anyone interested in Chrome Dog, comic is available for backing on Fund My Comic, fundmycomic.com. Campaigns 25. Chrome Dog #1, Perfect Strangers. You need neurosis. Amy has them. You know what? I haven't run her ad in a while. So I am going to run her ad right now. Satisfying will be re-released with new snazziness. Get the original here. Smashwords.com/profile/view Brian K. Morris. Yes, you always want to get the older edition because you never know if he's going to discontinue it. And Johnny, bah! What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. Hey, Johnny, you have to invoke one of my favorite moments in all video gaming. Oh, thank you. I needed that. Although, really, you should be the... Yeah. That is exactly the kind of line you should be doing. Maybe, you know what? Maybe you can get Solitaire's job after he gets bumped off. His castle might be vacant. Lord Cage, master of Ravencleft Gorge. Could that happen? I really need to revisit revisit the magic expansion for that I was wearing. For me, says Obscuration, it's good men in my It's an important one, Nick. Hey, Horatio. What do you think? You guys know Horatio, right? Can I introduce you to Horatio? 1 second. See the middle goblin next to the one who has his hand on his head? The one who looks kind of like he should be chasing? That's Horatio. He's one of my oldest friends. He lives up there with a whole bunch of my other buddies and Hoot Hoot keeping a watch over me. My gargoyles look out for me. They're good guys. Anyway, let's try this line again. For me, it's good men in my life, absence of that. I was actually scared of Nick at first because I am scared of AMAB men. Male at birth equals AMAB. Okay. And you know what? I'm a lot of a person. When I say that, especially when I am performing, I'm demonstrating, or I'm running games, or I'm selling things, or I'm streaming. I tend to make big movements. I dress boldly. My voice can carry. I can boom. Heaven help me if I ever get angry enough that my dad voice comes out. And if people are intimidated by me, it's a rare thing, but it does occasionally happen. I can also pull all that in and, give people what they need. But the one thing is, I'm not fully a mind reader. I'm pretty good, allegedly psychic in a few circles. But I'm not perfect for such things. It's much easier to say. I'm a little intimidated, which you watch me just deflate into my more contained, manatee form, where I'm, okay, what do you need from me to help you be less intimidated? Distance, lower volume. I have to project for the group, but I can try to modulate it more because we work through it. And Alec is one of those people that it is an absolute privilege to associate with and to humbly call friend. Because Alec is one of those people who has a lot of potential. And I think he's going to go places. Just needs experience and support. So that's what I'm going to try to do for you, Alec. But I'm glad you aren't scared of me anymore. At least I think you're not scared of me. Pulp Reality is the award-winning anthologies. Brian K. Morris, author on this. Yes, and Terrors and Volcana 2, only available through Brian K. Morris's Patreon. I have to apologize for existing some days. Oh, Anita. That's Anita, not Anita. She's the Anita, the one, the only. The radiant moon in an otherwise stormy swamp of life sometimes. How are you doing, darling? You should never have to apologize for existing, even though we all end up doing it. You are a wonder on this earth, kiddo, and you are out there just kicking butt and taking names, and I respect the living heck out of you. So, good morning. I will try not to interfere with your program. That's why I cut this off pretty religiously at 11 to make sure that folks can go over and see you and the delightful Daphne Leish doing what you do. And you know what? I need to make a true confession while I've got Nita here and everyone listening. You know, I shared some of my art, and I share my art. And of late, I've been leaning just a little bit more anthro back to my roots, which I haven't been in a long time. Not for any dislike, it just my mind wasn't there. And I shared some stuff, and I saw that Daphne liked it, and just for a moment, like 1990. Yeah, 1990. It would be 1999, Nick, because it was right after the bad old days when I didn't have a lot of types of innocence left. And I had lost a lot of faith in the world at large. I was hurting. And part of the things that made it better was really cool art. Fantasy would let me escape. And to see in my, I saw that Daphne liked it. I'm sitting there like, Daphne Leish. And it's like, I could see in my mind's eye, like little skinny, 2 inches shorter and, 200 pounds lighter, Nick going, yeah, I'm like, yeah, dude, check this out. It's so cool. Work with the people who inspire you. When you get that chance, even tangentially, even if it's just associative wise, like it helps because it's when you're fighting off that imposter syndrome, which dogs me. I live in mortal fear of the day you all realize that I am just a shallow, widespread compilation of mental disorders in a malfunctioning meat sack, thumping my way through life. Seeing something like that really just wow. And I can tell you, no matter how cool you get, no matter how, part of that never goes away. And don't let it, because that means you still have humility. So, but dang, Nita, you are so awesome. Sign up for Rising Tide's newsletter. Hey, Indie Comics. Why is that Indie Comics Network? As long as you serve your purpose and reach your goals, there's no apologies needed. Sometimes I feel I don't serve much of a purpose. Oh, Joe, sometimes your purpose may be to instigate change, to field test the strength of a situation. And sometimes it's just to make you have a different aesthetic than a lot of people. And there are more people that exist to admire that aesthetic than are comfortable admitting they do. Do you understand what I'm saying? Joe designs characters from a different perspective than a lot of people, and with different builds. It is, in many cases, it is women who are not, along that superheroine idealized plastic surgery in unitards look. I mean, some of them definitely are, but there are a lot of other different body types, and he presents them all as attractive, and that's a very rare thing. And honestly, that's a beautiful thing, because that's what representation can look like. And somewhere there's out there somebody going, yeah, see, someone else digs a chick who looks like that, and somewhere else there's a woman who looks like that going, wow, they think I'm hot enough to have a superhero who looks like me. That's important, and I respect it, Joe. Want to be a better spec fic writer, get how to spec fic. I bet that sci-fi writer, get how to books at bearpublication.com. I got out of the mindset that all men are bad, because they're not. Most men are good men. The bad outweighed the good for me. But now, because of the good, I'm no longer scared. That is wonderful. And I'm going to be honest, because there are bad men out there. There are bad women out there. There are bad people who are somewhere on the spectrum of in between. You know, a grim version of the parody. Well, what do you identify as? Evil. Well, what's in your pants? Doom. You know? But we need to live in a state of realistic vigilance without succumbing to hypervigilance and fear. Because survival is good, and there are times in life we have to simply survive. But there also comes times where we have to remember how to live. And I am so glad, sincerely, that you aren't scared. Get Animal Eye merch, bit.ly/bearpub. That's great, Alec. Yeah, I hear you, Alec. I got caught up in a number of abusive relationships, but fortunately, I've had better examples to look at. I'm glad you're doing better. I'm glad you're doing better, Cindy. You are a heck of a lady. And I don't know if I knew that you'd gone down that road, but I am glad you are where you are. Check out Madness Comics Network, youtube.com/PopStansat. You need Roll's art. That's artstation.rollcruise. Roll has sent me final for now, Animal Eye 4. It still needs approval, but as soon as I have that, I'll be posting some sneak peeks. I can't wait. We got rain here in Tennessee finally. We're finally getting really solid rain starting possibly today through tomorrow and into Wednesday. We need it. Although the corn is holding up, it's a little grim. Now, I do want to remind you, as I have to apologize to any of you international vampires or those of you who are intending to go on to the African subcontinent. Due to some actions made by the band Toto, it is not safe for you, weather dependent. I'm sorry. They blessed the rains down in Africa. Anyway, get Rose art customized for you, a subscribe star. And that's my timer going off. Check out CKOEPP.com to get Dragons books and other fun stuff. While you're there, you might sign up for my newsletter by Cindy and find out what's going on with suitable arrangement. The manure is about to hit the rotating air circulator. Ooh. Catch up with y'all later. I'm just dramatic. From says Indy, that's Nita. And Nita, yes, you are in all the right ways, and we love you for it. Newsletter, yeah, she's been writing it that way for a long time. Don't read too much into it. It's just her being silly, please. Purpose the indie. Yep, sometimes we need dramatics. Indie comics, perhaps you are to be the spicy pepper in the lives of others. Yeah. Oh, I'm not scared of you anymore. I'm more like, oh yeah, that's the chaos, the good stuff. I'm joining in that. That's great. Happy fat guy dance. Hey, Nita. You drew a bat cleric girl. Yes, I did. Charcoal came in. Just a reminder to add lunch in 7, basically. You weren't fast enough, Woodsman dude. She came in here and woke her brother. Good evening. Still recovering from the fair. Sold nearly 40 books. Bravo, Bonsart. Way to get the sales. Also, a concept for the comic is done. Wonderful. Having a good time has been good enough of a purpose. You know what? As long as you are satisfied, I'm not going to judge. because you put in the hours to do what you enjoy. So you actually have a better balance than a lot of people, and I respect that. Hey, Bouncer to Johnny. Hey, Donna. Even Donna and Carl. I have 2 cats staring at me, so that's lunch. Later, and remember that Aunt Donna is not accountable for anything. Sometimes life is about risking everything for a dream that nobody can see but you. Yep. Oops. Gotta start Nita and Daphne and let it run during lunch. Yep, you guys go right on over. I'll be running a little bit more for a minute. Woo, let's see. Let's see. Then we got Banjo Kazooie Fan 1990. Hello. Hey, Banjo. This is my first time here. I finally made it. I'm glad you're here. Welcome to the show. This is Nevermind the Furthermore, my show where I host a bunch of artists, authors, creatives, and we talk, support, sometimes rant about the joys of being a creative, of building people up and keeping each other accountable. You never know what's coming down the pipe here. I hope you enjoy your stay. Pardon my background. The walls of Usher are crumbling. That's nice. That's great. Nice that you can be here. I take it you two know each other. Looks down. Are you really Doom? Lamau. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in a silly mood. I've been in more angry mood the past couple of days due to other people. You know what? I think it's going around. I think it's the bad air and the heat just got to a lot of folks. Doom. I met you last month at the library. Wonderful. I'm. That was probably met me last month at the library. I'm trying to think. What was I doing last month? I think the art program could have been D&D. Well, I'm glad to see you, Banjo, and welcome. Gosh darn, he went there. Yes, I did. This past weekend, I went to the Special Olympics Indiana Summer Games, and I won the. Congratulations, Banjo! Congratulations! That is an incredible accomplishment, and I am really glad you did that. Thank you for joining our program. Now, I will tell you, this program runs from 10 to 11 on Mondays and Fridays pretty religiously. Oh, Jamie Dillon. Oh, okay. Hi, Jamie. Bye, Nick. Have a great day. Bye, everyone. It's great to meet you, either Jamie or Jaime, depending on how that's pronounced. Unfortunately, I am closing up the program because a friend of mine has a program that started 5 minutes ago, and I try not to force my viewers to cross shows. So out of civility, I try to end about this time or earlier. And with that, I will be ending. But please like, share, and subscribe. I do a lot on this network. I do art programs on this network. Check out my videos. Everyone else, please like, share, and subscribe. There will be probably sometime this week a bunch more art videos, because if I need to do it digitally. Oh, you know my bro, he works in library in town. Yep. He's good people. I will see you all next Wednesday at the same time, which is 10 a.m. Here, you can watch it right now. You can watch it through YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I say that right now because it is Twitter, and Twitter is about semi-stable. So thank you guys. As we round up and we get our week going, please remember, guys, you can make anything. And you should, because when you make it, you've done something. You put in the work. And if you don't like it, well, you can always edit it. You can improve it. You can make it better, but you can't edit a blank page. I love you guys. I will see you all very soon. Toodles.